internal structures of the eye. So the layers, meaning the sclera, the choroid, the retinal layer, and all of the different structures associated with it. So when we take a look at the sclera, I think we ended the last one talking about the sclera and its continuation with the cornea in front. And then deep to that, you see the choroid layer. Now on this model, you can see the choroid layer over here, and it's, you can see it's the intermediate layer. You can see lots and lots of blood vessels in this choroid layer. The choroid layer is very important because not only does it contain the blood vessels that feeds the retinal layer, it also contains, right, as it continues forward, it contains the iris, the colored part of the eye, as well as the pupil, right, the area where the light stimuli goes through. Now when we open this up, then not only do we see the other parts of the continuation of the choroid up here, but you'll also see this number 17 right here, right? So this continuation of the choroid layer anteriorly, and we'll notice is that it helps form this area called the ciliary body. The ciliary body continues forward, and the iris is a continuation of that. The ciliary body also contains muscles that are attached to these white lines. The white lines are the suspensory ligaments. The suspensory ligaments then connect to the lens. The lens allows us to focus and to change focus, right? So when we look close, we can focus. When we look up and look far, we can focus on the materials far away as well, right? So what allows us to have that change is we change the shape of the lens. What allows us to change the shape of the lens is the ciliary body and its suspensory ligaments contracting and then changing the shape of the lens manually. Now, another function of this ciliary body is to produce aqueous humor, which is found in this anterior chamber in the anterior cavity region. Now, it's really hard, almost impossible to tag the anterior cavity or the chamber because it's actually going to be just open space. Now, besides the ciliary body, we see the next layer over here called the retinal layer. The retinal layer will actually be a layer that's deep inside. On this model, we can see it a little bit more clearly as the kind of bright model, right? The bright kind of orange color that we see, right? Now, that really noticeable white disc is your optic disc. And this is the region where all of our retinal neurons, our sensory neurons for light stimuli exits. Because there's a little area right here where all of it exits, there's no room for light stimulating or light cells, photoreceptors. And because of that, this area where we see this white disc is your physiological blind spot. What else do we see is really deep inside here, you see a yellow dot. That yellow dot is going to be called the fovea centralis. And then that little darker staining, right, circular area around the yellow dot is called the macula lutea. In both regions, you will see increased numbers of cone receptors. Those cone or color receptors allows us to have greater acuity for our light stimuli. So they'll be concentrated this. In the rest of the retinal layer, you'll see more of the second type of photoreceptors called rod cells. Rod cells allows us to see shadows, right? They're a little bit more sensitive to light, but not as clear visually. So you don't see a lot of visual acuity here. Now what else do we see? And it's missing on this one, this model. On this model, we do not see the vitreous humor, which we do see over here. This is the vitreous humor. The vitreous humor, right, is a gel-shaped, almost like a water balloon, that pushes the retina, right, intimately to the choroid layer. So then the choroid layer with all its blood vessels can bring nutrients to this retinal layer of cells, right? On this model, you'll see all these white lines. All of these white lines are the suspensory ligaments. Then there's external darker area, number 18. That's going to be the ciliary body.